been asked by many people, how is it that I still seem to be so bubbly and joyful, even though I lost my husband about 7 months ago? Well, it's not that I haven't grieved at all, I have, but I learned something years ago from the Lord, and that is I can either choose to dwell on what's wrong, in this case to dwell on my loss. I can choose to do that, but how is that fruitful for me? Or I can choose to dwell on what is right, what is good, and maybe even what lies ahead, the future that God has in store for me. And I think for many of you, even though it might not be a loss of a husband, it could be a heartbreak in your marriage or a distressing situation with your child or a horrible medical diagnosis, and you're struggling with it and you're kind of having that pity party, which we're all actually prone to do. But how is that working for you? How is that fruitful? What if you were to train yourself, when you start to dwell on the negative, what if you were to train yourself to start being thankful in that moment for what is right and good? And there are some good things in your life for which you can give thanks. In 1 Thessalonians 5:18, God says, give thanks in all circumstances. And listen to what Philippians 4:8 says. Let me read it for you. Here it is. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. God is instructing us. He's basically saying, you can dwell on the negative and get all depressed and have a pity party, but how is that going to work for you? How about instead you actually focus on what is right and good, the things that you can be grateful for? I mean, do your senses still work? Can you see? Can you hear? Wow, give thanks. The fact that we live in America, yes, it has problems, but by and large, we can still buy food, by and large. Half the rest of the world is literally going hungry every day. Are we thankful for that? We should be. When we start to dwell on what is good and right, wow, it changes my whole perspective, my whole mood. In my case, I could dwell on losing my husband. I could just have a pity party there, but how is that going to help me in any way? At some point, God's saying, you know what, be thankful for the life you have today and turn and pivot from the sorrow, the heartbreak, pivot from that and look forward, because I have another chapter coming for you. I'm not done writing your life story. God is so good and creative in bringing beauty from ashes. But we have to capture what's going on up here and train it. The minute it starts going negative, we have to train our thoughts, boss around our thoughts and our feelings and say, nope, not going to go there. I'm going to be thankful for what is good and right, and I'm going to look forward to the future because God is already there and He's writing a beautiful story for me.